Bless up everybody, this is Jamaica Worldwide. And I just had to make a quick video because sorry about that. I was not noticing the microphone, but welcome. As I said, Jamaica Worldwide. This is Bob Campbell, and I wanted to say my 2 cents on this whole Tory Lanez situation, because at one point I was feeling this case was definitely not, well, it was definitely going the opposite direction from what I saw yesterday. Of course, Tory Lanez was found guilty of shooting Megan Thee Stallion. Now, the defense had two main arguments, right? And those two main arguments I want to get into, right? Because I want us to look at two specific videos. Two specific videos that I just cannot understand what has happened. It is not usual that I see cases and find that the jury or the judge has made a decision that was hard to accept for me, because usually things go, are within the realm of reason, and within the realm of reason you find that there's some level of accountability. Not saying that there aren't cases where judges can be wrong or a jury can be wrong, but it is not usual that I find this to be the case. Now, let me pull up this video. Okay, this is the case. This is the video which shows the moment of the arrest, right? And what I find confusing is the whole scenario, because firstly, right, 4 people were in the car, right? 4. The driver, Tory Lanez, Meg Thee Stallion, and Meg Thee Stallion's friend, that's Kelsey, right? 4 people. And in this video I didn't see the driver, right? But the driver is, nobody really is talking about the driver right now. What everyone is talking about is what happened in that car. And what happened in that car could be the driver would be of no consequence of that. Now, it is alleged Tory Lanez has been convicted of shooting Meg Thee Stallion, right? And it is said that they were in the car, and I don't even know if to be honest, I'm not even sure if she was out the car and he shot at her, or she was in the car and the whole thing happened, or what. But I heard that she was out of the car and came back to the car or whatever, right? But the instance right now I am looking at, this video, is where they are being ordered out of the vehicle, and right down here is Tory Lanez, right? big, 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 big up to Tory Lanez because I don't know. Hold on. Let me get this. Yeah, because if there was a situation where I'm laughing. These people went to a pool party and and they're going home buck naked. Yo, big up to Tory Lanez, big up to Megan Thee Stallion, same way. You see me? That's money. But yeah, I big up to Kelsey too, cause something go on in the car there. Something happened, right? But in any case, right? This is Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez is the first person out of the car, right? And he's there laying down on the ground, face down, no shirt, no pants. I figure him have on a shorts, underpants, whatever, you know. So, and that's how the video started. So you can see the police is there, you know, the others, and this now is Megan. This now is Megan, right? And Megan seems to be naked. And hold on, I'm trying to get. I'm sorry. I'm. There is. All right. Let's forget that. All right. So I don't know. Probably should have on a thong or something, but from this view, I don't really see it, especially since they blurred it out, right? So here we go. So she's getting out the car, and you can see some dark spots, and they said her foot was injured, right? Good. Damn. Shit would do. And then see the next one will come out now, right? So Megan here, this is Megan's friend Kelsey, and Tory is here, right? Tory was the first one out the car. Megan is over here. She came out second. And this is Kelsey. All right, so that's that, right? Yeah, big up Megan Thee Stallion. Same way, big up Tory, big up Kelsey, right? Now, one of one of the evidence in the case was the weapon, right? And two of the defense's main arguments are that, firstly, the weapon did not have the DNA of Tory Lanez on it, right? And the other video is supposed to say something to that effect, right? This is after yeah, fair use. Right. So Kelsey said Tory shot Megan. Okay? Hold on to that, you know. Okay, good. And he threatened to shoot her also. Good. Right. This is a person who would um talk about what happens when you fire a weapon, and the the ballistics and the the residue. Right. Hmm.
From Tory Lanez on the magazine, and that he said that the results for his DNA on the gun were inconclusive. That was big. The defense was also able to call their own witness, another DNA expert, Mark Scott Taylor. He was able to also speak to
The audio was off, so I don't think you were hearing the full report, right? Let me go back and just play it back. Okay? Let's go.
trial concludes. Here's a recap. I was inside the Criminal Justice Center today, and we heard testimony from Kelsey Harris, her audio interview with the prosecution from September. I said earlier that this was a big win for the prosecution because the jury got to hear her version of the events, and this time she was very clear, she was very concise, she was very confident, and one thing that she did point blank was say Tory shot Megan. She also said that he threatened to shoot her. The defense at that point was able to cross-examine the detective who was in the room during the interview. They didn't ask her too many questions. Here's where the defense had some success. There were several witnesses called by both the prosecution and the defense. They called a firearms examiner. He was somebody that was able just to speak to how a gun is shot.
Right, this is where I'm saying that he speaks to the weapon, the casings, the gunshot residue, all of that, right?
The casings look like, and the positioning of the casings that were found at the scene. They also had a criminalist. This is another criminalist, and this is what he said. He analyzed Tory's DNA, and he said that there was no DNA from Tory Lanez on the magazine, and that he said that the results for his DNA on the gun were inconclusive. That was
okay. So that means they don't know if it was on it or not. Okay, all right.
Big. The defense was also able to call their own witness, another DNA expert, Mark Scott Taylor. He was able to also speak to the LAPD's DNA findings. He corroborated their findings that Tory's DNA was not found on the gun. He said, I would expect if a person's hands aren't gloved, DNA should be on that gun. So the defense used this as a time once again to make the jurors believe that perhaps Kelsey could have been the shooter. The trial is on recess till Monday. The defense still has an opportunity to call some more witnesses.
Wall up! Wall up!
All right. So they're talking about gloves, right? Everybody was practically naked, right? So one thing I would assume is that if there's no DNA on the weapon, Mavada said DNA didn't match me. If there's no DNA on the weapon, if there's no kind of print, no nothing on the weapon, how is it that he's been found guilty of discharging that weapon, right? And I don't think this report mentioned it, right? But there is also another report that females' DNA were on the weapon. So his DNA was not on the weapon. Females' DNA are not on the weapon. There are also points made that Kelsey may have shot Megan because Megan was dealing with men that Kelsey was dealing with before and things like that, right? And she would have, cause or motive to do something like this. And they also said, the other point is that Kelsey had immunity. She pled the fifth, and when you plead the fifth, that means basically you do not want to testify on the grounds that your testimony may implicate you. That again. So, one, they were all unclothed, naked, basically. What they had on was minimum, right? So, we're not even going to talk about gloves. Secondly, who was the first person out of the car? Tory. Who was the second person out of the car? Megan. Who was the third person out of the car? Kelsey. Now, this is not taking into account the driver. I don't know if the driver was out the car long before or not. But the first person I saw was Tory, then Meg, then Kelsey. And if a female DNA or females' DNA were on the weapon, and the two females were the last to leave the vehicle, I would have to look into that, right? Because if Tory is not in the car and the weapon is in the car, if Tory shot Megan, why would the two women want to then touch that weapon after or rub off Tory's prints or whatever and leave theirs on it, right? Now, also the weapon was found at where Tory was sitting down in the passenger side, right? The women were sitting in the back. Tory was the first person out of that vehicle, right? who is to say that when Tory came out of that vehicle, they didn't put that weapon where he was sitting? Right? The whole thing seems very confusing to me, because at one point I was laughing. I was saying, look at this, see? Nothing is going to come off this, because apparently Kelsey would have shot at Megan, and she has immunity. They're gonna find that Tory didn't do it, and she already has immunity. So that's another story. So nothing gonna come of it, right? That's what I was thinking. So when I heard of this guilty verdict, and of course, this channel is Jamaica Worldwide, right? And Tory has a strong Jamaican influence, so I had to cover the happenings, right? Now I wasn't really following it up because I found the whole thing kind of unnecessary. I could have posted videos, I would have got some views and all that, but I really didn't want to trivialize what was going on. But this, to me, now has been very interesting. Now, what I also mentioned when I played the second video is that Kelsey said that Tory shot Megan, right? And Tory said he didn't. And there is no evidence to say that Tory shot Megan, other than Kelsey saying that Tory shot Megan. Yet still, it is woman's DNA on the weapon, right? So basically, they have taken the word of the woman against the man. And I have always said that men, we are under attack. I think that masculinity on a whole is under attack, and women are winning in terms of they can just cry and say, oh, he did this. Look at domestic violence cases. Women can just say the man did this. There's no proof sought out. There's no reasoning. There's no real investigation. The man is locked up. Now, we have this case. This is how I view this case, and we all have to be wary of this. Tory first out the car, Meg second out the car, and Kelsey out the car last, right? Do you remember? You remember when you're in primary school or prep school? Because I went to primary school, right? Do you remember when when we used to get whipped? We used to get beaten if we don't know some questions, and the teacher would say you're doing the times table, and the teacher would line you up and say one by one you come up and say your times table, say it 3 times or 4 times or stuff like that. And you either hope you get 5 times or 10 times, or you try your best to stay at the back of the class, right? But those who didn't know, you know those people were the people who were at the back of the line, right? And even and even when everybody going up, them telling, oh, you can't go, you can't go, you can't go. And you know the people who more confident gonna go up and say 3 times 3, 3 is 9, 3, you understand? And and just run through, and you hope say the line you never end up reach at the front of the line, cause you know if you reach there up to the front of the line, you're gonna be saying 3 is 12 and all that. You're gonna get beaten, right? You are gonna get some lick, right? So you stay at the back of the line. So I found it very interesting that Kelsey was the last person out of the car, because the driver, I don't know if the driver is still in the car or gone, but if you are far from the situation, you'd want to be the first person out of the car, right? And well, I don't know if the driver is out, but I look at it as the last person out of the car is probably the person who do want to say the times table. You understand? So that's what I'm looking at. But also, just to put everything together, Megan and Kelsey had a weird relationship, because Megan apparently would be with people who Kelsey was with first. Also, Tory was out of the car first, right? So there was ample time for Megan and Kelsey to do anything after the fact. Also, if there was no DNA on the weapon from Tory Lanez, or it was inconclusive, but it was said that there were women's DNA on the cartridge. So that also tells me there was no male DNA on the cartridge. So that also gives me further indication to be puzzled as to this result. Anyway, people, let me know what you think. I mean, this is very interesting. And brother Tory, big up yourself same way. I mean, nobody knows what happened other than these 3 people. But the whole situation yo, Tory, big up yourself, but me no know ya, man. And then Megan, boy, me no know what happened, if a glass or somebody shoot you or what. But the whole scenario look away. And men have been getting a beating this whole year, So I would like it to be that this wasn't done by Tory, and he's going to be punished for it. And I don't think women care. I don't think women care. When I say women, I mean Megan or Kelsey. I don't think they care. If it wasn't him, I think men are disposable to society, and they just are glad it wasn't them. But let me know what you think. comments. Let me know in the comments what you think. And also, please remember to subscribe and drop a like. Bless up to everybody and all the best. This is Jamaica Worldwide.